It's Thursday, it's 8 o'clock, and it's the Big Detective Show with myself and Puff the Magic Dragon there.
Hi Dave.
Hello.
All right?
I'm all right. Are you all right?
Yeah, we had a bit of a stuckage there, didn't we? Something stuck in the middle of the advert.
It was all groovy, you?
Really? Did anyone else see it get stuck? Just after the NCMD advert, it went blank. Oh, never mind. I hope it weren't me. Although I have just noticed a crack on my laptop screen, which is a bit worrying. Never mind. Good evening, everyone. It's wet, it's windy, it's cold. And we moaned about the ground being too hard, and now it's too wet. Typical blinking English.
Can't live with them. Can't live with them.
No. You all right though, mate?
I'm all right. I'm very tired, but I'm okay. How are you?
I'm all right. Yeah. I'm all right now. I spoke to you on Tuesday, didn't I? I went out.
Yes, you did.
People
you sending me random drunken pictures, as is the norm when you remember that I exist when you're drunken.
Yeah. Oh, Dave, be nice if Dave was here, I thought. Sent you a nice picture of that.
You did, yeah.
But yeah.
In fact, you done a nice video as well, drunken video.
Did I? What one?
Yeah. Outside.
Oh, the waterfalls and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, waterfalls, fountains. Christ, people are thinking, where the hell was he? Waterfalls in Essex, I doubt it. Anyway, we've got quite a few people coming in.
That's a sexy thing with ladies in Essex, isn't it? Anyway, is anybody else having picture qualities at the moment? Adrian's just froze on me. He froze when he was watching the adverts, and Scotty B says that it's blurry his end.
Ooh. Something just fell.
That's twice that's happened. Are you sure it's just like your house today?
It's my CTX 3030 hanging from the ceiling like Steve Newman does. No, I think we're all right. You're blurry, Dave.
I've just noticed what's looking over your right shoulder. There.
Badger hidden.
Yeah. Everybody else. Well, John Clayton says I'm blurry. Everybody else says it's all crystal clear. Well, thank you.
Okay. Maybe it's the interwebs.
Yes, it's the weather. Let's blame the weather because it's pap.
Yeah.
Oh, we've had a couple of likes and a couple of loves, and we've had an angry face of somebody as well.
That's probably because I was talking about waterfalls.
Yes. Okay. This week's guest, sadly, I was just too scraped for time this week, and I wasn't able to organise tonight's. Well, I went through a list of people, and unfortunately, no one was available this week. But I wasn't able to sort anything out. But we do have two nice people coming on the show now who haven't been advertised. I like to throw a curveball to Mr. Gaylor every now and again. So we've got two nice people coming on the show in a wee while, have a little chat with us. And if anybody else wants to come on and they've got time, feel free to shout us out. And I've still got a list of people. I'm going to have to carry that list of people that I made last week, in a very small cigarette packet, round with me because I'm at work thinking, I can't remember who was on the list.
Yeah, well, it's good being at work because if we did this as a full-time job, well, we wouldn't have any money for a start.
We'd have loads of metal detecting. Well, you would.
Yeah, it'd be nice just sitting in an office with you, Dave, eating donuts and talking to me about random things.
Oh, right. A lad in work. I'm a union rep. I was on the reps course in Hanley on Tuesday. So there's 9 of us and the instructor on the course. One of my mates from work, Andy, is a part owner in a patisserie shop in Chesterfield.
Like you do.
So Monday night, he shoots over to Chesterfield and brings back 2 massive boxes, cling filmed up, of cakes. Now, the cake shop itself, they've also got a unit which makes them for restaurants and stuff. So they're that quality. Well, there was about 40 cakes and only 9 of us.
And so it's not as if you're diabetic, are you? You don't need to worry about it.
As a challenge, didn't I?
Oh, God.
I was having cronuts. I was having blackberry crumble cakes. I was having, and I ended up having to bring some home as well.
Donut, Dave.
Cook again. Have you ever had a cronut?
No, I don't really like donuts.
It's a donut, right? But the bottom half of it is made out of, whatever they make croissants out of. And then it's raised. It's raised.
Petit pan.
I don't know what it's called. It's raised. And then the inside is filled with, cream and such like. Oh.
Well, thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight to listen about donuts.
Adrian, you've got a question that's not about donuts.
Donut. Well, we won't go while we go. Why are donkey jackets called donkey jackets?
I know, and it's miraculous because it's basically from where I'm from in Ellesmere Port, originated in Rugeley in Staffordshire, and from where I'm from in Ellesmere Port. So, Graham Dempsey, you should actually know this as well.
He probably wears one every day for work.
Well, I heard Graham Dempsey told Tasha she was getting an animal skin coat for her birthday, and he came home with a donkey jacket. That's why he was sleeping in the factory for a while, I reckon.
And also, talking of donkey jackets, not relevant. You know when people say, "Oh, teach it to suck eggs."
Yeah.
Why would you suck an egg? And would you suck it like hard boiled or in the shell?
I've got nothing.
No, just wondered.
I'd suck the yolk off. I'd suck the yolk off the bread.
Well, I wondered if it was. Anyway, let's talk metal detecting, shall we? Because that's what we're. Yeah.
Anyway, donkey jackets are called donkey jackets because the material was made in 1899 in Rugeley in Staffordshire. In a shop there, and it was made for the navvies who were digging out the Manchester Ship Canal, Ellesmere Port, Eastham Locks on the Wirral, all the way obviously through to Manchester. And they had these donkey engines. The donkey engines were big engines that were pulling all the things that were digging out the thingies and logging and what have you. And basically, they were made for them. So because it was the donkey engine, it became the donkey jacket.
See?
Or as Graham Dempsey calls it, Mrs. Dempsey's new coat.
You go to work tomorrow and tell all your friends. Well, yeah, I'm off tomorrow, actually. I'm not going to work tomorrow.
So have you been metal detecting then?
Yeah, I went out. I forget what days it is. Saturday. Wet, windy, and the field's been deep ploughed near me, and which is great, but not when you're detecting. But I managed to go on. I tell you, I did find a hammer off a flintlock pistol, which I've never found before, which is pretty cool. And I found a denari. I actually messaged my mate James, said, "Oh, really bad day," but when I got home, I thought, yeah, that's not bad. Silver denari and a hammer off a flintlock pistol, which was quite good. And I took the Atrex out. It's just had a software update, and then I used the routers. I had a bit of trouble with the Atrex. I need to talk to Tony Kaywood. This had a version 2 software update for multi-frequency, but it was a bit noisy. But I tell you, I did get this week. We all like like we used to with our Ford Cortinas, tune them up, lower them, put rubber strips on the back, all modifying them. A lot of people are modifying their detectors now. And the Mine Lab Equinox, the foldable stem, I had a thing for that and a new arm cut. And I got something for my Deus 2 this week, which I like my Deus 2 a lot, but I don't like the way that control box sticks out. So people have probably seen these, but they're really good. So there's your little thing for your control box, 3D printed, very well made, and you can just fold it down so it's nice and flat, so it doesn't get in the way or anything, or you can adjust the angle so it looks better at you and stuff like that. And I got that sent to me. And I also got this, which we all see these pinpointer holders that go on your machine. And I thought, oh, yeah, it's going to break. But look, 3D printed rubber. How cool's that?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's very well made. And I got that from a guy in Germany who ships to the UK. He's on Facebook, German. Won't go to World Cup. But yeah, so I got that this week, and I was quite excited about that. So I'm going to be trying that out this weekend. And someone like Monarch Designs, a lovely friend of the show, he might be doing some bits like that soon, because he does do lots of bits for detectors. But yeah, I like that little tiny. Love the way you can just twist that. It's very well made. So I'll be trying that out this weekend. And I've also got the new McGrafter. The one with detachable blades and stuff. I haven't picked it up yet. It's at Treasure Hunting Magazine offices. So
wouldn't that be cool if you had like several different blade types that you could put on there?
Yeah, well, I think that's the plan.
So like a multi-tool.
Well, I went when I went detecting with Fraser from part of the Treasure Hunting Magazine, Jules and Lisa, the other week to Norfolk, Suffolk. Fraser had a trowel and I had a big spade, and I could have just changed the head for a nice thin trowel type thing, or you could even put a sand sieve on the scoop on the bottom of the McGrafter. Yeah, it's got some ideas. It seems he's modified it a lot, so I'll have that tomorrow. And I've also got the Noble MD stainless steel one, which I love. And then there was the Mine Lab ones last week. Did I talk about the Mine Lab ones last week?
Yes,
I did. Yes, we did. Yeah,
yes.
The little one, and then the big one, which isn't bad, 49 quid. Yeah, spade mungus in my house. But yeah.
Well, before we bring this week's guest on, Adrian, there's also, we played at the start of the show a new advert for a new website, which is selling metal detecting books.
Books.
And now, is this on behalf of, or alongside, or instead of Greenlight Publishing? Do you know? Because obviously
it's alongside. Yeah, everyone sells books, so It's just. I think they're giving free magnifying glass away with every book.
Yeah. On that advert, it comes up that they're giving a free magnifier away with every book. So
credit card magnifier, which I've got somewhere. One of them.
But the book that it's within the advert is a very, very beautiful new book, which is very sexy and smells glorious. Oh, Bookophile.
Now this was published before, and this is an updated version, and it's Oxford Archaeology, University of Leicester, and everyone that's been in it has been working on it. And the thing I love is the maps on where stuff.
The maps are fascinating.
Yeah, so like I get excited because that's my part of the country, and yours has got nothing.
It's the one that didn't excite me.
But it's really good illustrations and stuff. And I think a lot of people throw buckles and brooches away because they don't think they are. And it's a common, I think they're one of the most common categories of post-medieval and medieval finds. But a lot of people don't realise they're buckles, especially if they're broken. But I got that yesterday. I haven't read it yet.
I also got it yesterday, and thank you to Greenlight Publishing for sending the copy for review by the Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine. On the front cover, Adrian,
beautiful, isn't it?
The bits in the middle, are they anamorphic? They look like anamorphic sea creatures.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, they do, don't they? Or elephants. Oh, they got snakes. Yeah.
Yours look better. Anamorphic.
I
No, if you look,
my...
it looks like the mouths and the eyes are facing inwards. It looks anamorphic.
Yeah. But anyway,
beautiful.
I think one of the things people forget with books is I've said this before. You find something, you put it on Chumbly Wumbly Facebook group or whatever it is, and someone says, "Oh yeah, that's whatever," or "That's junk," and you take their word for it. Those people, some are skilled, some aren't. But a book goes through many hours of people editing it, proofreading it, and then it has to be printed, which costs thousands of pounds. They can't get it wrong. So books are still a reliable source, a very
Wasn't
reliable
that
source.
a band, a early 2000s, late 90s, 2000 band? They done.
Who?
I get knocked down and I get up again.
Labour Party. It was the Labour Party.
Oh no,
song, wasn't it?
Chumbawamba, that was it.
Chumbawamba,
I got confused.
Okay, what's that anyway? But yeah, it's a great book, really nice, and available from Crawford's, Regton's,
So
Publishing,
we mentioned it
Media.
We mentioned it last week. The website, but the website looks now to be. Did he tell you that it's fully go now? Is it the website?
Yeah. People want to go on there and have a look.
So it's detectingmedia.co.uk. So it's got all your books that you can think of, all your metal detecting ones, all on there.
Oh, there's the magnifying thing.
Where's that magnifying thing? There it is.
Oh, there. Yeah.
There it was.
I get so excited about books still. I don't know why. Got so many of them to read. Steve Newman wants one. Head over there, Steve, and buy one. They probably do take check.
So,
or postal order.
Yeah. Detectingmedia.co.uk.
Yeah, I think they're going to give us a book to give away or some books in the competition.
Yes, we're looking at having our, for those of you who don't know, we have a mailing list. We sent out the first one. We had the competition, which all prizes should have been sent out now. If you received them or not, I'm not 100% sure, but all prizes should have been sent out by now. And there's a banner running along the bottom of the screen for you to get that, to access the free newsletter. And by accessing the free newsletter, you can access all the free competitions that we have. We had the first, obviously, this month. Is it this month?
Yeah.
Yes, it was this month. And we'll be having the second one as a Christmas draw next month. So we already have some people who've offered prizes, some organisations, companies who've offered prizes for us. And anybody who would like to get in contact with us, if you have any prizes that you want to give away on the draw, please get in touch with us and we'll be more than happy and very, very grateful to include them. So there you go.
And thank you to all those who provided gifts and posted them out promptly. LP, Clean Pencil, Monarch Designs. I've missed one, but Blackadder, yes. So
Rodney Cook,
Gary Cook and Co. Hopefully, going forward, it'd be lovely if we had some nice big prizes like detectors. It'd be nice if it would could give a legend away. Oh, I've just remembered something. We were talking about the C-Scope Rolling Stones Bill Wyman last week.
Yes, we were.
I want to get one. Sorry.
Well, I'm going to bring on our first guest for the evening. He's waiting there. We all know him. He's very well known in big circles, especially in the land of Lilliput.
Lilliput. Evening all.
He was in the chat.
He is in the chat and he's on the show as well.
God, that's clever. Yeah.
I've not told Adrian that you were coming on. Scotty, try turning your phone to landscape. That's better.
Now I've got a muffin.
Did look like you were falling over, and that was quite amusing. Oh,
You're
isn't,
right,
he
mate.
fresh, isn't he so fresh-faced and young-looking?
He's had a shave, yeah.
I just had a shave the night as well, not just because of the show, but I just had a shave.
Are you sat
you
on
have
a
a
little?
shower?
Are you sat on a little stool?
No, it's a sofa.
It's a very low sofa, isn't it?
Nice
It
wallpaper.
is.
Nice
It's woman's choice.
What's been
How are
happening,
you
Scotty?
anyway, young man?
Nothing here, just busy. Obviously, with family life, it's so close to Christmas. Obviously, with group digs, obviously, with the weather, obviously, it's hard for parking for your
With the
cars,
what?
vehicles.
Weather? What's weather?
Weather.
Oh, you said weather. I thought you were going to start singing.
No, I said
Kate
weather.
Bush.
Obviously, the weather's a bit, obviously, you know yourself, it's a bit crap. So, trying to get, we've got a lot of permission about, but it's all parking on fields and it's impossible to put cars on fields at the moment with this weather. So, things are on hold. But good news is, I've been obviously in the ball line for Detecticon 2023. So we've got a farm with a lot of history, really big history. Just waiting for the definite go ahead, which should be in the next week or so. So it's looking
And that's
good.
that's the one we've discussed on the left-hand side of the country as opposed to the right.
Possibly.
Is that if you're looking up or down?
The one with
If you're looking-
a battlefield on it.
That's the one.
There you go.
Ah.
Yeah. When are we looking, Scotty, roughly?
Well, if this one goes ahead, if it's all a go ahead, we are usually the end of July, but it'll be a month after, so you're looking at the end of August.
Scotty, man, I can't do 3
The
weeks
reason
away
why
on a
that
run. It's
is,
going to kill me.
usually, the reason why that is, for all the listeners out there, it's obviously we used to all be pasture, and we used to get the farmer. We used to pay for the farmer to plough a field for years. Well, this year we're hoping to change all that, and it's land where it gets regular ploughed at least 3 or 4 times a year because of the harvest. So this time around it'll be ploughed, and also there'll be stubble. There'll be probably no pasture, to be honest. But the stubble should be rolled. We've asked to be rolled anyway, so it's in the short pipeline. But fingers crossed we can all get it sorted and get final details all signed in.
Top man, because I'm coming to that this year, Dave. I'm coming this year.
And if any dealers as well, like obviously we're open, so any dealers are welcome. So if for instance you sell spades and you want to come, you can come and bring a spade stand. If you sell cups, you can come and bring a cup stand. Even if you sell, I don't know, homemade key rings or any, like a farmer's market, what a farmer's market do, cakes or anything, you're more than welcome to come. It's open
Cakes?
to anybody.
Did you say cakes?
I did say cakes, Dave.
So pretty much any kids' clothes or anything, really.
Yeah, anything. It's open to anybody. Like I say, it's I know it's for detecting and it's for charity. We're going to try and double with limited game this year. But we're hoping to get it, but it's depending on the weather and situation, all health and safety and stuff. Other things up basically. But no, we're trying to get it vast open to more of the public, to try and get the public enticed into a hobby, to try and show them the right way about it, instead of people just buying a metal detector, I'll get one for Christmas, and just going out on the field and they get called hoggers. Yeah, they might get called hoggers. Yeah, you do get them. But there's people out there who just get them for Christmas and then doesn't know what to do. They don't know the rules. They don't know the regulations. So if we can get that out, if us detectives get that out there to these newcomers, then it might help our hobby a little bit. And between the situation between us detectives and farmers might get a bit better. Who knows? We can only try.
Steve Newman says he's going to be there for a lovely time.
Oh, lovely,
a lovely time.
I'll go up with him. It's funny you saying that because this week I've had 2 people message me. I want to take up the hobby of metal detecting, and I want to buy a metal detector. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I will never give a specific brand, because some people like a Reuters, some people like a Deus, some people like a.
The first thing is, I could say, Adrian, can I just put in there? The first thing is, if you want a detector for Christmas, or if somebody tries to buy you one, or you want to buy your own, before you do get a detector, make sure you get permission first. There's no point in getting a detector if you've got no permission, especially if you don't live close by a beach.
Yeah, and exactly the first thing I said. But then I said, how much are you looking at spending? 100, £150. I was like, oh, okay. You could get a go find or something similar, but
Yeah.
they're like, fell for the old trick. Well, there's this one on Amazon called a Yukimaka Waka Laka, and it says it goes down 2 feet, and it's got really good reviews. I said, no, just buy it. I'm nothing against Amazon because they have got good machines on there, but go to Regton's, LP, Crawford's, Joan Allen, Spinner Disc, whoever you want to go to, because they won't stock. But it's worrying.
Go to a proper dealer. A dealer.
Yeah, go to a proper dealer. But, and, you know, if you are accidentally watching this show because you're interested in donuts or donkey jackets and detecting, actually, donuts, detecting, and donkey jackets.
The 3Ds?
Yeah, 3D.
Website. Get it thingy now.
Yeah. And they're all like, oh, I don't know if I can afford that much. Well, get it on Klarna or some sort of discount thing because LP and all the others, they do it on finance. But it's funny. It's getting popular. I think since lockdown, a load of people got interested in detecting. And do you think North of the Tyne next year, because that's getting more and more popular, isn't it, Scotty? Have you noticed
it is getting popular? Yeah, it's getting popular at the moment. But like I say, obviously, I'm a one-man band. It's just me. I do everything on my own. Yes, I've got my marshals who come to the digs and they help out and stuff like that. But I'm the only person who does everything. Gets land, does the paperwork, does insurances, does licenses. But I've got my own family. I've got my own jobs to do. And it does get hard at times. But I'm that kind of person. I don't want to ask somebody else to do it because I know how to do it right, if that makes sense. I'm not saying they couldn't do it right, but I know it's done properly, you know. But yes, it's getting a lot bigger in this area as well, like really big. The other day I was going to the shop with the wife.
Being as you're so little, you got Big Chris to carry you around though, so that's dead cool.
Yeah, he's me right hand man, me bodyguard. That man is
Master and blaster.
No, just how big it's getting. The other day, I was driving to the shop with the wife, and there's 3 or 4 people on just a football field just up the road detecting, and like you see, they look like Amazon stuff.
What,
in
St. James's Park?
No way. And so obviously we've done what we've done, come back, and I was still there. And what I've done is I went over and I just explained the situation. Obviously the rules and regulations of metal detecting. I give them a Arch Mag, which I got from Detectiveville, some leaflets and NCMD, which I got from Detectiveville. I give them, and they were like, oh, and they just put the machine away straight away, and then they toddled off like. So it just shows you they need that guidance of the rules and regulations of metal detecting, and they will stop because they don't mean to, but they won't want it to damage anything, you know. They don't know the right from wrong of the hobby, you know.
Well, it's things. I mean, I remember when I was 14, I used to take my air rifle over the park and shoot it. Can you imagine that now? I'd end up getting shot.
You also used to shoot James from your bedroom window and things like that, though.
When I was younger, I used to shoot in the back garden. And one day I was shooting in the back garden. I went through the gap of the fence and hit the next door neighbour's brand new conservatory. And only had it up a day.
Did you tell him?
Never had a gun since when my dad got a hold of it, I tell you.
Yeah. I remember air rifles. It's funny because in the late 70s, it was all air rifles and metal detectors. That's all I remember. Air rifles and metal detectors. It was good times. Yeah. What it is now. But Scott, you still got the Equinox?
I've got the Equinox, and I've also got the Legend.
With the latest version 109 software.
I haven't updated it. I've only used it about 5 times, but the very first time I've ever used it, but I'm not dissing any machine because I love them both. I love both companies and stuff. But the first ever time I found used the Legend, I got a Bronze Age axe head.
Wow.
And I've had the Equinox since it first come out. So.
With the Legend.
So I found an axe head with the Legend at Detectable, didn't I, Dave?
Does that mean if I get a Legend, I'll find a Bronze Age axe head?
Possibilities.
No. But yeah,
it's only a fragment of it, the axe head, but I can show you if you like.
Yeah,
of course. Adrian's.
Yeah. Dave, I reckon I dropped it and he's found it. I did lose it, I did lose it, but I found it.
He's going through his Lego box looking for it now.
I'm going through some of my finds.
Playmobil.
There it is.
That's a bad view, that is. Oh, hi, Scott. That is not different to yours, isn't it?
Mine was a little bit more green, more patina on it, a little bit smoother, wasn't it?
But
yeah,
this is pretty short, but at the end of the day, it's still a accent for me.
I was over the moon with mine. I was literally only out for about half hour, wasn't I, Dave?
And then you lost it.
Yeah, but I found it. I can't remember. I found it in my watch.
It was pretty sharp.
Yeah. I shaved with mine, Scotty.
You know that right. If you put that in mine or your hand, Adrian, it'll look dead little. It looks like a full size one in his, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it's the Legend. I've lent my Legend to someone because I thought of buying it, and he's loving it. He found a hammer the first time he went out with it. And I'm not saying it is going to find you stuff, but I think you open it up and it's a good value machine. I will say a very good value, and even more now. They dropped it to $499, I think, without headphones.
I know, yeah, bargain that, isn't it?
Bluetooth. Yeah, it is. It's going to rock the market a bit, I think. But some people don't like them. Some people.
But detectable, like the wife, obviously, I've been detecting for ages now, and the wife she used to come to the rallies and stuff with us, and she enjoys it. And it's only the last, like, obviously this year just past the rallies, she started taking up metal detecting, and she was taking the Equinox off his, and I was like, come to detectable, and they were like, you can loan a detector for a couple hours, and I was like, right, get yourself there. And she got a hold of the Legend, and I don't know how to use it. First ever time I've had one, or even saw one, was it detectable. And she got it, and she absolutely loved it. But bearing in mind, I had to dig all the holes for her, but she loved it. So when we go out next time, she can use the Legend, and I'll use my Nox, or vice versa. She knows how to use both of them now. So,
what are your thoughts on the Manticore? Would you like one? Would you buy one?
Guess what? I've hands up, and God's honest truth, I've never seen it bought on a picture or a video, and I've never touched it. So I can't say yes, and I can't say no.
Okay. Did you you went to? Oh, you probably didn't see it detectable, did you? Or
I saw it. No. I saw it on the stand, but it wasn't turned on or nothing. It just looked like a bit like the Equinox to me.
Yeah, it does. But it's not.
When Katrina takes your metal detector off you, how big does she have to make it?
How big do I have to make it? Do you not mean?
How big's the shaft?
When she takes it off you, how long does she have to extend the shaft?
Full length, but it's still a bit too little, like.
Mm-hmm.
And how short do you have it?
The shortest it can get.
I wonder if they will do an extendable shaft like they did for the Simplex, because it's not short, but I like a long shaft to swing, and it can get a bit, because it's carbon fibre, but it can be. No, it's not like Simplex wobbly. But
I've got a custom shaft given, but I'm not saying which company, and it's a good shaft. But after a while, with being carbon fibre, with me being obviously little, it just wears away, and you can feel that wobble, and it's so annoying.
What wobble?
His shaft.
Seeing that though, I've had it for about 5 years, so I think it's time for a new one, to be honest.
But you do like a good shaft, Scotty.
Oh, absolutely.
No, it'll be interesting because the Manticore, when your next rally's on, there'll be people there with the Manticore, and there might even be more new machines coming out. I don't know. I think I've got an idea who might be bringing one out for next year, but it's the last 12 months has been crazy, isn't it? With the Deus 2.
Yeah, well, I know a couple of manufacturers. By next year, there should be another 3 new machines coming out.
Yeah,
so, Scotty, you've been testing, or you've been in the part of the team who have come up with the new Dr. OTEC. And
yes.
I still think it's a pile of shit, but tell us about the new Dr. OTEC. Sorry, what I meant was I don't think it's very good. What do you think of the new Dr. OTEC?
Basically, what happened a couple of, I would say, just before lockdown, there was me and a lad called John on North of the Time Detecting, and we designed a machine for Dr. Otek and a program for Dr. Otek. And we got that patent so nobody could copy it without our authority. Dr. Otek come up with saying they love the design, they love the program, we can't do it, we're interested, but we can't do it right now. No problem. Come up last year, they've used our program, changed it slightly, and basically used a different, obviously, design of the machine.
I didn't know this.
To be truthful,
I didn't know
Dr. Otek has basically copied the new machine. It's basically copied the Garrett Ace 150, but changed a slight little thing in it. But for that, it's exactly like the Garrett Ace 150.
Yeah, but
the discrimination and stuff, what it says on the machine, right, and discriminating stuff, it's a load of. It picks everything up.
I honestly thought you were actually a part of it, and I thought you were.
I've got nothing to do with Dr. Otek, and North of the Time Detective's got nothing to do with Dr.
But you haven't told me this, so I wouldn't have asked otherwise.
They did give us a few machines for Detecticon this year for the prize for charity. That's why you saw banners and stuff up. And also they did give us a discount for our group, but that is no longer valid. And just now, nothing to do with North of the Time. Dr. Otek is finished.
Well, the word patent doesn't apply to the Chinese, so I think you can go back to the Fisher machines and stuff in the past where they had a lot of problems. But the issues you've got with one of those is you buy it, and if something goes wrong, there aren't many Dr. Otek service centres in the UK, if not in Europe.
There's none. Basically, Dr. Otek is a. I think it's a Polish company, but everything's made in China, and they haven't got a distributor. Everything is sold through Amazon. So if you've got a dodgy machine, you send it back to Amazon. Amazon automatically they send you a refund or a new machine.
So they probably only cost £5. John Clayton. Yes, I'm Dr. Otek. Isn't it? Is it Otek? Is it Otek?
I get what he's saying. I like him too. I think
I saw the advert.
Tremendous.
Is it Dr. Otek? They don't make cakes, do they?
They do.
They don't, do they?
Well, it's two different companies.
Oetka.
Oetka.
Oetker.
Over the top.
Otek cakes. So you can have a Dr. Otek cake stand.
You can do it if you want, Dave.
Oh yeah, and I'd sell any.
Yeah, don't go. Simon Dempsey, hello mate, how are you? Am I drinking Ribena? No, it's Vimto tonight. I've run out of Ribena, I've got Vimto.
Is anybody in the chat got any questions for Detecticon or anything like that?
I have. When will the tickets roughly be available, and how do people buy them?
Basically, the tickets will be available as soon as we have a contract signed with the landowner, so we are guaranteed the land. That's when the tickets will become available. And how you would buy them is online through Eventbrite. And also this year, we had obviously the camp and the main arena separate, because that's what people wanted from the year before, because it was too noisy. Well, we've done that this year and people weren't happy about it. So next year, what we're doing, the field's that big, everything's going to be in the same field. And if you on check-in, when you go to check-in, you say to the marshal or the staff who's checking in that you want to be in the quiet area, and you'll be right at the top of the field, away from the main arena and all that stuff. So if you want to walk down there, that's totally fine.
And we've just got Kevin Parker. What area are you in, Scotty? It's Wales, isn't it? Or...
No, it's not. It's northeast Newcastle.
Oh. And John Clayton is trying to say
basically North of the Time detecting will be detecting all the way up to the Scottish border, and then we do detecting down the country.
And then
into
there's a big line of Scottish people with big sticks not letting you in. John Clayton's trying to say I'm Bruce Bogtrotter out of Matilda.
How do you know that name?
Because I love the film Matilda. And Bruce Bogtrotter's my hero because he eats the cake.
What are you drinking, Scotty? You look like urine.
Lemonade.
Oh, yeah, so I don't think anyone's got any other questions. And your website, Scotty?
Yes, the website. That's another thing. Obviously, it needs updating and stuff. Obviously, with the time, it's so hard to do. We had a person who was looking after it, but obviously that person's busy now. And obviously, if anybody's out there who wants to help up with the website and give us ideas, and more than welcome to PM is. I'm open to anything. If you just want to help, that's fine by me. It's going to be closed probably by Monday. The website's going to be closed down until we get it all back up to date, and it's going to be totally changed. And also, we're hoping that there's going to be an awful lot of time detecting first ever one app as well. A metal detecting club app.
Lot of money.
Yes, I know.
Thousands, you're talking.
Choose the correct person to make it, not like I.
Yes. Apps are all right, but they need a bit of maintenance. 250 quid to submit them and everything. Ooh.
What's going on with you tonight, mister?
We're in the middle bracket, Adrian, of the app, so it's not guaranteed, but we're in the middle bracket of getting things finalised, so fingers crossed.
You can create an app from your website, but it's not a real app.
That's where it's going to be. Yeah,
I can confirm that.
Yeah,
I could do that for you, but I'm busy. This is the problem. I've offered to help you, but I can help you, but we'll talk about it again. But I've been busy, Dave, haven't I, with things? So
we've all been busy. So close to Christmas.
Well, I'm Jehovah, so Jehovah. It doesn't affect me because I'm Jehovah.
I wish I was.
No, I do sometimes actually.
So you're dwarf, not Jehovah, dwarf.
That's why I'm saying I wish I was, because I was getting put in the dwarf suit. Go and take a present to me next door here, but
yeah. Dave, we haven't got that picture of Scotty B at last year's Detectable, have we? Not this year's, last year's, or a video. No, we haven't.
I'll get up. I can't play the video of Scotty B.
It's the scariest thing ever.
No. I can't play the video of Scotty B.
Oh, no.
How you saw that video, Adrian?
It's the one where Scotty B's asleep in his camper in 2019.
Oh, yes. And I remember that one. Yeah.
Luke videos me.
You'll have to send us that, Dave. I've got a new phone. I've lost it.
How'd you lose it?
I don't know where it is.
I think I might know of it. But no, good to have you on, Scotty, isn't it, Dave?
Yes, it's fantastic. So
you
will keep us abreast of information. We'll obviously keep everyone aware of what's going on with Detecticon, point them in the right direction. And any updates you do have, Scott, just give us a shout. Do you know what always makes me laugh? His name's not actually Scotty or B. And I can never remember his actual. I think I remember his actual name.
Your name is Scotty.
No, it's Rufus. Rufus Scott.
Rufus and Doofus, eh?
I thought it was Rupert.
No, Rufus.
Rupert Bean.
Scotty, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming on tonight. And as I say, we'll keep everyone abreast of what's going on with Detecticon, North of Time Detecting, and we will speak to you soon, no doubt.
No, but I'd like to say thank you, everyone, and thank you very much for a great show. Any questions, just send us a message.
Yeah.
I'm going to send him loads of messages and loads of stupid questions now.
He will.
Scotty, if someone pays for a ticket to camp at your rally...
Yeah, that's the thing. This year, we had to charge everybody the same price if the were detecting or not detecting because of our situation with the tickets. This next year is going to be totally different. It's going to be like the same year as the first one. If you're camping and you're detecting for the full weekend, then it's one price. If you come to camp but you're not detecting, it's going to be a different price. And if you're just coming for the day, it's a day price.
What about if I camp on the Friday night, but I sleep in my car down the road on the Saturday night? Have I got to pay for 2 nights camping?
If you use our facilities, yes.
It's all right. I was joking. That's all right. Right.
A bit like Karen.
Yeah, that's Karen. Yeah.
Right, you are. We know you need to go. Your bedtime's at 9 o'clock, so we'll let you go.
I'm going to watch the rest of the show anyway. So
no, you're going to watch for 10 minutes, then you're going to watch the rest tomorrow. Every week without fail, going to have to go now. We'll catch up. We know it's your bedtime at 9 o'clock. Thanks for coming on. Take care, Scotty.
Take care now. Bye-bye. Night.
Oh, he's
I didn't get any of that,
isn't he? Lovely
didn't get any of that. Didn't understand a word he said. But yeah, that's the thing with the Welsh. They speak so quickly.
Don't say that. There's a nice Welsh person in the chat room called Wayne Rowlands, and we don't want to upset Wayne, do we? We like Wayne.
I was mocking Scotty B. I couldn't see then. I just realised I didn't have my glasses. Got a bit worried then. But yeah,
well, I've sent out. Have I sent it? Yeah, I've sent the message to the other person who wants to come on tonight. But he said that his local, what's it called? Tower?
Mast
is broke. So
has he not got Wi-Fi?
I don't know. He says mast broke, so he doesn't know.
Can we have a guess who it could be in the chat?
Yeah, you won't get it. You won't get it.
Have they been on before?
No.
Is it a man or is it male? Have they got
man
hair?
or male? Is there a difference?
Yeah, well, in this day and age, have they got hair?
Yes.
Glasses?
No.
Beard?
Define beard.
This is like Guess Who?
Define beard. You could have
because this
facial
isn't a beard.
hair.
This is stubble.
You've
got a beard. Yeah, but you've got a beard. So have they got
a
stubble?
partial beard? I'm a belly goat gruff, apparently.
Oh,
what machine do they use? It might be beard.
Well, you won't know, will you? Dr. Oka.
Dr. Oetka.
Where do they live, roughly? North, south, east, west?
England. South.
They live in the south?
Yes.
Do they live near a beach?
I don't know.
Do they live not far from me?
I don't know.
Hang on. Do you know who they are? Have you met them before?
Yes.
Where?
Public toilet. Rodney Cook Detectables.
Is it Grim?
The only place I can meet them probably is because they're there, or I wouldn't meet them otherwise.
It's not Grim Bleeper Sweeper or whatever.
No.
I know it's
Grim Bleeper Sweeper.
Well, there's two, isn't there? There's a sweeper and a bleeper.
We had Bleeper on the other week, didn't we?
No, we had
the
Sweeper.
Guy in the caravan. Oh, was he Sweeper?
That's Sweeper. He's Sweeper. Right. Bleeper's near Chris Rogers, sort of Folkestone.
He's a lovely lad as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a nice lad.
Anyway, we've taken the whole show up playing Guess You.
Who is it? Who was it?
I'm not telling you until he comes on, if he comes on.
Oh, he's coming on, but I thought he's got problems with his shot.
Yeah, but I've sent him the thingy, but he said there's a problem with his whatever it's called, the big thing.
Pylon.
Right. Have, in your knowledge, Greenlight Publishing got any other books coming out in the near future? Or is this like a Christmas product this year?
No, there is some big books in the pipeline. They're constantly ongoing. Do you know, I was thinking this the other day because there's a guy called Gordon Bailey. Those who
marvelous Gordon Bailey.
And do you know what? He's I was looking on that Detective Media site today. There's books on there for £6, like 150 pages with illustrations and stuff. All right, they're probably 5-10 years old, but he doesn't live far from me. I didn't know this. He's like 10-minute drive or 5-minute drive, and he's getting on now. He's 80. He's been detecting for like 50 years or something. But some of his books are absolutely stunning, and I remember looking at them when my dad had them, and I don't know how I got onto this. How would it be? Oh, so I don't think he's producing any more books, but he used to get line drawings done. So someone would sit there looking at a buckle, and we forget this. We look at a book and think, oh, 30 quid, 50 quid, 100, some 100, a lot of money. He'd look at a buckle, and then they'd get someone to draw it, illustrate it, and then that'd get scanned or whatever. Now we've got so many people taking pictures and the software and stuff, and I think whereas you might have produced a book, you wanted to produce a book 20, 30 years ago, but the costs would have not made it profitable. Now with software technology, it's a lot easier.
Our guest below me, he's here. He's waiting. Sorry, carry on. Finish what you were saying.
Yes. So all I was saying is, I think you can see that printing's expensive. It's doubled in price. Absolutely. If anyone who works in the print, you know what we mean. But yeah, so yeah, I think that there are some new books coming out soon. Who's that then? Hide your face and I'll guess.
Right, go on. You can't say
I'll look
who it is. I know he's there. So no. Guess who? Guess who? I can't put him up because he's got his hand over the camera, but it says his name on the bottom of the screen, so that won't work. So it's your final two guesses on.
Can I speak to them?
No.
Do I know them?
Yes.
And they live in England. Ah, hello, mate.
Hiya, Brill Cream.
Oh, hello, mate. God, he's got a tortoise. You all right? Oh,
it's talking. Lord. His mouth's me. He's talking.
I forgot about it. It's another one to go on my list. That's what I want to buy. We could talk about your tortoise. Melvin. Is that? Oh, not Meldrew, as in Victor.
No, it's Melvin. He lives in the cupboard with me.
How old is
he? How cool is he?
Currently sitting in the cupboard, which is sort of half the cleaning cupboard and my detecting room, detecting office, as you can see.
Yeah, you've got
look at all that stuff.
Lest we forget, nice, fantastic.
This is where I have to do this sort of thing because obviously kids are not running about and family life. Yeah. I'd like to introduce myself as the history holder. And how are you?
And you're
otherwise known as Brill Cream, otherwise known as Joe Webster.
Joe Webster, who I bumped into. Well,
yes,
I saw you was it last weekend before last at the Colchester dig, didn't we? Bumped. Oh, that reminds me.
That was a very wet and muddy dig. Can you hear? Me all right? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. You're fuzzy because obviously your local mast's down, so you're fuzzy, but you can hear you fine. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. It's just the picture looks like crime watchy. Looks like Steve Newman sort of pixeled out, blurred. But
so I've got air though.
Look.
I
still got Brill Cream on it.
Where's the Brill Cream come from? Tell us where the Brill Cream comes from.
I'll tell you what. Steve gave me that nickname.
He gives everyone a nickname.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? But the funny thing is, I don't even use Brill Cream. I use black and white.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful, black and white, though, isn't it? And it could be taken offensive in some places.
If you have a look up here, where's it gone? There's quite a few empties there. I do use quite a bit.
Well, if it helped hair grow, I'd probably use it. So, tell us, you're down south near me in the Essex area. What got you into detecting? And I know why, but you've got a military background, haven't you? So just tell us a bit about how and why you got into detecting and how it helped you, mate.
Yep.
I don't think you can tell us unless Dave.
Can you hear us, Joe?
I've made him angry. He's just staring at me. No, he's frozen.
Well, what it was, I used to watch a big detecting show. Got me really it is.
What can we do a phone call, Dave? Can we do a phone call?
Okay. Well,
yeah, can you hear him again?
No, it keeps
at
going.
the start, I first thoughts about detecting was when I was a kid, really.
Oh, we've lost your sound now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Steve.
I can't see you though. I can see Adrian.
No, I think
here I am.
Yes, because I'm local. You can probably see me.
You know.
Yeah, I think. Oh, that's such a shame.
I'll tell you what, Joe. We're struggling to hear you. We're struggling to see you. Why don't we get you back on the show when we know that you're all fixed and groovy back in London, where you are?
He's not in London. Don't say that.
Oh,
he's just staring at us.
Hold on a minute.
Oh,
here he is.
Oh,
he's out. There he is.
Oh my God, that is so much better. Yeah,
that's because he's reconnected via a different stream.
Now the neighbours.
It's gone a bit dark out here. I've had to go outside.
That's right. There's not a white van, is there, with a bald-headed man sitting in it with a knife or a hammer?
Me.
No, Steve Newman.
One second, I've got an idea.
Do you remember the other night when you were saying? Do you remember the other night, Adrian, when you were telling me I was getting abducted by aliens? I thought he was then. He's gone in the neighbour's house now. Get on their internet.
Have you gone in the neighbours?
In the neighbour's house. Right, I've got an idea. One sec.
He's going to rob the Wi-Fi dongle and he's going back home with it now.
He's in a different house.
He's in a different suburb.
I'm on the move.
Make it big, Dave, the screen. This is interesting. It's like Crime Watch. Not because he's in Essex, but...
You just wanted to smoke your puffy there. There he is.
Here he is.
What's happening?
He's robbing a car. Oh, he's in the van.
I'm in the van. I've got signal.
Here he is.
Right. Excellent. So
yeah, we got you. We've got you perfect now, Joe.
Happy days. Sorry about that.
That's all right,
Doc. Joe, sorry, mate. Yeah. So my question was, how long have you been detecting? What got you into detecting, and how does it help you? Because you were in the military, weren't you, and stuff?
Yeah. I was in for 10 years. Well, I first thought about detecting when I was a kid, really. One of my dad's friends, he was quite fortunate, and in the 80s, he found, I think it was a hoard of gold Romans and a full, complete Celtic mirror. And ever since then, I've always wanted to give it a go, but I've just never got round to it. I was big in my fishing for a while. I used to do a lot of shooting and motocross. And to be honest, I didn't really think about detecting. But a friend of mine, when I left the army and moved to Essex, he sort of introduced me to it, and I bought I think it was a Golden Mask, UK 1 edition.
Mask +1 or something, yeah.
Yeah, the one with the Union Jack on it.
That's it. I had one of those, yeah.
I had that for about probably a year and a half, and I've done all right with it. I had my first hammer with it, had a couple of crotal bells and bits and pieces, buckles. And yeah, pretty much that sort of hooked me. And I was lucky enough to go on a club dig in Essex with another friend, and it was probably about, I'd say, a year into my detecting, where I was lucky enough to find a full Charles II guinea, and
nice.
Literally, when I dug it up, I thought it was a euro or something. But literally, it come out so clean, like how gold comes out, and literally, as soon as I had it, I was just hooked.
Oh, Joe,
I'm here.
Oh. There he is again.
I love this.
I love live Sally. Don't work with kids. Don't work with animals, or Joe, apparently.
But you've had some amazing... Sorry.
Honestly, around here, the signal's terrible at the minute. One of the 5G masts has gone down, and literally you can't get signal anywhere. And the Wi-Fi in our flat ain't great anyway. But
yeah. But
hence why I'm sitting in a van.
You've had some good finds over the years, though, considering you're not a newbie at all. But
no, I think I'm coming up to my 7th year detecting now, and I've had the knocks for, I'd say, about 5 to 6 years. But
yeah,
I mean, I swear by the knocks. I've literally had it. It's probably my first decent detector, and or sort of like mid-range detector. But it suits me down to the ground. I don't think with the Manticore and all that, I don't think I really want to. I don't know. I have to have a look at it first before I sort of make a decision. But I think I'm just going to stick with the knocks.
Well, it's a lot of money, isn't it? £1,800. So,
yeah, it is. It is a lot of money. What about yourself, Adrian? Are you gonna?
Have
you got yours?
Soon. I'm getting mine soon. I'm looking forward to getting it because like all machines, I take them over ground that I've got a certain field that I go over, and some bring up stuff, some don't. But this extra power, I still there's extra power in it. And speaking to the engineer, the guy behind it, he said, yeah, the extra power is in the processing speeds and the recovery speeds of the circuit board and stuff. And I said, well, will it give you more depth? Because straight away they advertised it as like 50% more power. So straight away people think that they're going to be digging down 3 feet. But there is a very complicated equation that I read somewhere where someone worked out potentially how much more depth you'll get, and I think it's between 10 and 20%, which doesn't sound a lot, but it could be a lot. But I don't like digging deep. For me, I only like going down like, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches, 6 inches tops, especially when I field test, because I dig every hole. The 2D screen on it, like the CTX, is going to be interesting, very interesting. Because they're bringing out this machine for the whole of the world. They're not just bringing it out for the UK. So, a ring pull's easy to define, shotgun cartridge maybe, but things that we get a common trash in the fields, like a broken up can or something like that. I'd be interested what that comes out as. But yeah, I'm hopefully going to get it very shortly, and I'm looking forward to trying it out. But it is a lot of money, £1,800. Even if you put that on finance a month, that's like,
it's a bank breaker, especially with all the cost of living and all that at the minute, and it's not great, is it? It's not looking any better.
It's going to be hard, but there are the people out there who can afford it, and I'm sure it will be a good machine. They've made improvements on the shaft and the way it connects to the coil, which... Is your coil broke? Your lugs on your coil broken on your Equinox?
To be honest, I know it is poorly made, the Equinox. It is cheaply made, but I've had it, like I said, for nearly 6 years now. I've not broke one arm cup, one coil. I'm not really careful with it, to be honest. When I'm in stubble, I proper smash it in and out of it, and I'm always dropping it. And to be honest, I've not had no issues.
No, I think. Where do you keep your machine? Out of interest.
I keep it in the cupboard, hanging on the wall. But
yeah, I think because it's a plastic, I have left it in the shed sometimes. I've left it in the car sometimes, and a couple of times, probably not in the winter, but autumn, left it outside.
yeah,
Just because I've been doing something in the garden and forgotten about it because I drank too much. But plastics react with the temperature, and I think polypropylene, which these machines are made of, it's a bit like, if you leave plastic out in the sun, it will dry and it could get brittle. So I think if you look after it and keep it in the house, like Steve used to keep his CTX hanging from the ceiling in the lounge, or it will live longer. But I'm on my second or third coil on my Equinox.
okay.
And second arm cut, but I am prone to falling in ditches and things like that.
Yeah.
Just got.
Do you use the coil strengtheners, the 3D
I do
printing?
now.
I've had one of them on for a while, for the last say 2 or 3 years, and I've had no issues with it. The only thing is with it is occasionally they become loose and they wear the thread out on the pin that goes through the bottom of the stem. But
there's
also I've only recently just changed to the metal arm cup as well. There was someone at I think it was the Joan Allen rally. He was knocking them out quite cheap. The Telenox ones.
Telenox, yeah.
But I mean,
Detected Innovations.
Yeah, I put one of them on, and yeah, it's been all right, to be honest.
I must admit, I love those. I've got one of those.
That's one we'll have to add onto the list of coming on the show, Tony.
Yeah, because he's also got the on my Knox. I got the adjustable bit where the control box folds flat, and I love that. We were talking about it. I've got this thing for me Deus where you can twist the control box so it's nice and flat. So so the coil's flat and everything fits in a backpack. Lovely. And I've got that on my Knox, and I love that. I really do. Just quickly got a question from Will Way. He's saying about 50% more power on the Manticore. Will it not kill the battery life? Well, cleverly enough, Minelab have put 2 batteries in the arm, in the handle, as opposed to 1. So, whereas at the moment the Equinox has got the battery in your hand grip, they've actually managed to fit 2 in there. And it's quite clever because it is actually a gnat's chuff lighter than the Equinox, and it's got double the powers, the batteries. But they do take about 7 hours to charge, and I think 15, 16 hours detecting time. But you can have a battery pack on there. Yes, Derek Sherwin, no matter how much money you spend, you still got to walk over it. Yeah, totally agree. And I think, Joe, me and you are lucky we live in Essex, and there's some really good land. And
yeah, there's a lot of good stuff, but there's a lot of grain waste in Essex now, though. That's becoming a bigger and bigger issue.
Yeah, I've one of my permissions. I don't know what happened, but one of the fields is absolutely littered with it. Absolutely littered with it. And the others are fine. So whether it was a dodgy batch or something, or the wrong driver turned up with the stuff, but yeah, it's getting worse. And there's a good article in ArcMD Mag last year, wasn't it, Dave, from John Wells about green waste, 2 pages, and it's something which suddenly we thought we were going to hear a lot about, but we don't. But the problem is, if you approach a farmer, I'm not saying my farmer paid less to have this on his land, but some farmers might not be able to afford the cost of a purer type of fertilizer, or they might be getting ripped off by the companies selling it to them. But it's an awkward one because you could end up telling him, and then he gets funny with you and tells you where to go. But this is stuff we're eating. The stuff you pull up.
I regularly think about that when I see stuff in the fields and that. And I mean, like when you walk around, you see all sorts of things in the ground, and it just makes you think, like, where's all that going?
What worries me, is the amount of lead, and we all know lead's poisonous, and yet they're growing runner beans and carrots and cabbages and swede, and the amount of lead some fields I pull out like bucket loads, and it's white lead, isn't it? It's the really toxic lead,
asbestosy lead.
Yeah, it's like powdery. It's what they used to use on their faces, didn't they, in the Middle Ages, David?
Yeah, but going back to how I got into it anyway. I was obviously, I've always, like I said, I always wanted to detect as a kid, but I just never got around to it. And what happened was, I mean, the first time as an adult I used a detector was in Afghanistan, when I was with the British Army searching for IEDs. And
Wow.
I don't know why, but I found it quite exciting out there. But at the same time, didn't want to find a signal.
No.
And obviously, when I got home, a friend of mine started working with me, and he come out of it one day, because where I come from originally is around sort of Luton area, and detecting's not a big thing down that way. And I mean, I know you got Hertfordshire around there and Bedfordshire, but my hometown it's like unheard of. Like, you get the odd detectorist, but when I grew up, like around in Essex, you know yourself, everyone's detectorists these days. But I said, yeah, and I bought that golden mask, and I started going out, and I had a yard on a farm. You know where them burnt out houses are, Adrian?
Yeah.
I had a yard on that farm when I was self-employed, and I went to see the owner and said, look, I've just bought a detector. Can I go on your fields? And he said, yeah, go on, crack on. And I got my friend on it and another friend as well. And it just went from there, really. And I think the biggest reason for me after leaving the army, when I left the army, I suffered with PTSD for quite a while, and I found it really hard to sort of become a civvy again. And I don't know, I really did struggle. My confidence went down massively. It's still not great now, but I did really, really struggle with mental health for a while, and a lot of it wasn't to do with things I saw done. It was more the change from soldier to civilian, and going back and leaving everything behind. Because I was in there as a young lad till 2018. I'd done 10 years, I did, and it was a big step. And when I left the army, I moved to Essex and didn't know anyone around there. I only moved there because I met my missus when I was in the army, and she lived around here. So when I left, I come around here, and yeah, it just sort of took off. And I originally done it as a hobby, and it sort of overtook all of my other hobbies. I stopped carp fishing, I stopped everything else, and after I stopped all that, it just took over my life. And then it was really, really helping with my mental health issues. I mean, I noticed I had counselling and bits and pieces when I come out. Everyone was trying to give me all these antidepressants and that, and I didn't take them. I just wanted to do it myself. And the only clear time in my head where my head wasn't against me was when I was walking around the field with a detector. And I was in a bad place for a while, like a really bad place, and it really, really did pull me out of that hard, like the struggle I was in. And yeah, it just changed me. And then later on down the line, I noticed that if I got out sort of once every week, my episodes and issues were getting less and less, and I was keeping like a balanced life. And occasionally I used to sort of test myself, and I'd not go out for a couple of weeks, and it would start creeping back up, and the cage would be rattled again. And after that, I sort of noticed the patterns. And I mean, when I was self-employed, I was out every day. As soon as I finished a job, I was straight down them fields. And I mean, he's got like 47 fields down there, and I've been on every single one of them for hours and hours and hours. And I've had quite a lot of stuff off them, but it was more in the start to help me get back on my feet. And I've met so many lovely people and had so many good experiences with all the weekenders. And I mean, the socials, just like being back in the army, being out with the lads and that.
Yeah.
I mean, when I left the army, I used to drink a lot in the army. Like, you're talking every night. I had a Welsh mate, Taff. He literally, if he didn't knock on my door, I knocked on his door with a crate of beer every night. And for nearly about 8 years, I'd say, we were borderline alcoholics, but in control. But literally, yeah, it was a massive change when I left, and it really did help me out. And later on down the line, that's where the History Hoarder page come from, because I started to realise that I needed something to do in the evenings to balance it out more, and I need to keep proactive to keep a balanced life. So I started the History Hoarder page, and I run that with a great team that you probably know, Vicky, Billy Fox. We've got Simon on there, Oliver, and Laura as admins, and they've all been amazing. They've helped the page grow. We're nearly at 1,000 members now. It's been going for about, I'd say, getting on about 8 months now. But
that's good. Yeah,
it's really taken off. I've just started the YouTube channel. That's not going too great at the minute, but I haven't really had time to really push it. We've started knocking some hoodies out and some hats and bits and pieces, and people are buying the merchandise and supporting the page. And eventually I will be looking at possibly running some charity digs on some permissions I've got in the future, maybe like mid next year.
No, that's good, Joe. I think, does your you're not married, partner, girlfriend, does she notice a difference in you when you've been out detecting?
Yeah, she does. I mean, don't get me wrong, because everything's about detecting now for me. It has sort of took over quite a bit. She does get a bit frustrated sometimes when I'm constantly on the page or out digging every weekend. I mean, it's like this week, this summer I done, I think it was 5 weekenders on the trot.
I thought I was bad with 3 with Dave.
I think that's going to be the same with us with Detectivecon next year now.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, it was like I wanted to do all the big ones, because I've never done the Rodney Cook. I mean, I worked security that with Steve and a couple of other blokes. That was a good laugh. I met a lot of nice people there. Then we went on to Detectival. We done the Joan Allen one at the start. We done Heart of England one, and what was the other one? I can't remember the other one.
Just Detect.
Rodney Cook one day.
Yeah, I've done that one as well. Pretty much went to all of them this year, but yeah, it was good to get around people, sort of meet other detectivists and that, because I think if you stay too local, you sort of I don't know, you don't experience what the hobby's about, in my eyes.
Because it's like I always say, and people say, it's not about the treasures under the ground; it's the ones above it. And you do meet some. I mean, I wouldn't, if I'd have met him in Blackpool, I'd have said to my wife and kids, "Get away from him," because he's just a loud.
Whoa! You wouldn't have met me in Blackpool.
Well, if I had, because you hate it there, so you would have been ultra angry, moaning about Southerners who've gone up there, and I met Dave, and he's one of my best friends, and he's a lovely bloke, and I met him through detecting. I met loads of other people through detecting, and no one's in it. Well, some are in it for just the gain and finding gold and stuff and night hawking and all that malarkey, but you do meet some really nice people. And I don't know what it is. It's almost like you're going on a school trip the day before you know, when you go, you're not at school, you're getting on a coach, you're mucking about, you're having a laugh, there's banter, people are wetting seats so people sit on it and get wet and all that. It's got all the banter in it, it's got all the laugh in it, and you're enjoying yourself. And it's so nice to hear, Joe, that you were worried about your being anxious, being worried about going out, and you're one of the nicest people I've ever met. You're confident in my eyes, lovely to talk to, and it's so nice that this hobby, after what you've done for our country as well and what you've been through, that it's made you probably a better man than you've ever been, and made you meet some lovely people at the same time. So
yeah,
I don't
definitely.
think, yeah, you don't need to worry about it. And as long as you keep it up, that's like my biggest fear is, God forbid, one day Dave reverses his transit over me and I lose my legs or my arms and I can't detect.
You'll still love me nonetheless.
Well, you'd have to carry me in like a sack on your, like a baby, and with a detector and dig for me.
Like Chris and Scotty B, Master and Blaster.
Yes, yeah,
you could do that.
Be like that. But no, it is a great hobby, and the longer you can keep it up, and it does all help us. I don't suffer with mental health problems, but I probably would have done if my dad in the last 2 years lost my mum and my dad, and going out detecting just takes your mind off it, mate, doesn't it? And
yeah, massively.
And even it's I don't know, it's like white noise, isn't it? It's just
I've always been like an outdoorsy sort of person. All my hobbies are sort of outdoor hobbies, but I think being outside, for me, it ain't about always finding stuff. It's about being around the people that you want to be with, and it's about getting out, just getting out. I mean, you probably seen me on digs. I don't tend to sort of walk around with people. I sort of just go off and do my own thing and talk to new people and bump in. I mean, I always go with my admin, Simon Carter, and he's been. I mean, I only met him March this year, just gone, and I'd honestly class him as like one of my best friends now. I met him when he just took up the hobby. He's one of the best blokes that I've ever met. He's not in it for any gain. He wanted a bit of help at the start, and I think he had a 540 at the start, and I sort of give him a few pointers, and from there we just sort of hit it off. And I mean, me and my missus and his missus, we went out for a meal the other night for a curry and that, and he comes to all the digs with me, comes to all the weekenders this year, and I think it's done the same for him as well. He was at a stage in his life where he wanted something new, like a new hobby and that, and he took it up, and he's never been happier. But I mean, he's one of my main admins on my page, and he's supported me from day one, and he's just one of them people that just doesn't want anything back. And
yeah, there's a lot of that in the hobby.
And there are. I mean, Shane, he doesn't want anything back. He takes me bloody detecting everywhere. He's helped me with the van. Doesn't want anything back, even though I keep trying to force it on him. He doesn't want it.
He's too nice.
Shane's been helping me out recently. I mean, I've only met Shane twice, I think, in person, and he's been messaging me, giving me pointers on YouTube, and sort of telling me, giving me advice how to get the views and what sort of content to put up and that, because I'm all new to it, to be honest. And he's been really helpful. He's another lovely bloke that I met through detection.
Yes,
I mean, you've got Oliver is another one of my admins, and he's really helped me out with the merch side of it. I've got another bloke called Dave who helps me, and he does all stickers and patches and all that sort of thing. And literally, like Oliver, he bought my old 540 just in time for, what was it, the detectable rally, and I sent it out. He begged me, he sent me the money over, and I'd not even met him at this point. He begged me if I could send it special class, so he got it in time for a rally he was going on, and then so he had it for detectable. And honestly, I got it to him the next day, and he was over the moon. And ever since, we just hit it off, and he's just been really helpful. Di Evans as well. He's on my page. He's all over it. Another lovely bloke. It's just amazing how many people are out there that are so helpful and just want to be part of something.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well, listen, Joe, it's 9:30, which means it's time for me to go to bed and Adrian to probably start building a website or something.
Drinking.
And drinking, so making spelling mistakes on said website.
Or reading that.
Can't thank you enough for offering to come on tonight. Moving forward, I will get things done. I have next week's guest. We do have a next week's guest booked in. James Wynn from Treasure It will be joining us. And I'm waiting to hear back from about 3 people regarding dates, or 2 companies and 1 person regarding dates that they're going to come on the show. So we do have a packed lineup, and I will start going through my written on a cigarette packet list. As I said, Brill Cream, it's been a pleasure hearing your story.
Honestly, appreciate you letting me on, and thanks for the time. Sorry about the internet connection problems.
Yeah, it's more exciting.
It was dead. Honestly, it was dead exciting. We didn't know whose house you were running into and breaking into and stealing their Wi-Fi, and that was ace.
Very random.
Top viewing. It's more random than Rob.
yeah, definitely. But I'll see you on the next Colchester dig, mate, or I'll be in touch.
Yeah, you on this? Are you on the one this weekend?
No. Actually, you just reminded me. I've got to give someone a X35 coil to test out on a machine. I've just remembered actually a guy who's a member. This is the thing. You go on these digs, you meet someone, and you think, and they've got a problem. Like he's got a problem with his coil, he thinks, and you're just like, yeah, I'll lend you one, mate. Yeah, it's like back in the 80s with cars, isn't it? Sort of like, oh, I've got some twin Weber 45s. Yeah, try them on your Capri. Yeah, they might work. Yeah, but it's lovely having you on, mate, and thank you very much for coming on and joining us tonight. It's been nice, isn't it, David?
It has. And we will take a look at what's your YouTube channel, Brill Cream?
The History Hoarder. But to be honest, it's not really. There's not a lot of content on it at the minute. I haven't put any sort of what I'd class as. I've been doing a lot of short videos and small finds here and there. I haven't really got round with work and all that and family life to put a big video on yet. But there will be
any subscribers to start. Are good subscribers.
Yeah, I've got about. I think it's been up for about a month, and it's got about 70 odd subscribers. So I believe.
Subscribe. Go on.
I don't know actually. It's between 50 and 70, I'd say. But
no, it don't matter.
Let's have a live look, shall we?
Get your Facebook followers to head on over there.
Hoarder. There he is. 67. Now 68.
Thank you very much.
Oh, don't you worry about it.
Thank you, Scotty B, for coming on again tonight, mate. Top
yes,
man.
As ever, Scotty. Yes, and we will see you same time, same place next week, where we will have James Wynn joining us from Treasure It, and I promise I won't balls up that guest this next week. It's all sorted. Thanks again, Brill Cream. Adrian, love you to bits, and I will see you all next week.
Cheers, lads.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
See you later.
Get out for a bit.
Bye.